Hey guys, it's Danielle, Vita Plastica, and I'm doing a video response to Swanzz video about BJD Addiction. And this is very timely because I've been feeling kind of overwhelmed. I feel like there's always a doll project, doll things to be done, and I feel like just this pressure. And I think it comes with people ordering wigs from me. It's like, I don't know. It's hard for me to be an all or nothing person. So either I'm never going to do a wig again or I'm going to start a wig business. So every time someone orders, I'm like, well, I don't really do this, but okay. And then I like making wigs. I don't like people that I don't know demanding things of me. I'm not a fan of that. I work for people all day, so working for myself doesn't, I don't know how satisfying it would be if I were to have a business making things for people. Unless I was making dioramas, because I love dioramas. And if I had an endless amount of time to work on people's stuff, I would do that. But people want stuff and they want it now, which means it has priority over my stuff and puts me back. But I did say I would accept the order, and I am excited to work on them. I just feel like sometimes it can take away from things I need to get done, and I need to get everything done all the time, everything. And I do feel sometimes it can feel a little unhealthy. So, and I've talked about this before, with the Barbies, it had become a serious problem where it was just a room full of props and art supplies and the dolls and the clothes and the homes, and it was just getting to be too much, and I wasn't enjoying it. I was just buying. And I had, you know how I named my years? I had a year of luxury and a year of luxury, which was really good because I learned that the more you spend, the more money just seems to magically come in, at least for me. So that was a good year. So I decided to start buying better doll props and stuff, and I wouldn't do as much, you know? I'm not going to buy a big lot of Barbie things and think of how many things I can spray paint to look realistic. I'm just going to buy the things that look realistic and just buy one of them. What was my point? Yeah, I don't know. So I had gone down that bad road with the Barbie hobby. And with BJDs, from the minute I got them, all I wanted was to get quality things for them or make quality things for them. So it's a little different. It's definitely more expensive, but I can do it less often, which is healthier. But there are times, like recently, I said to my husband, like, do I ever talk about anything except for BJDs? And he's like, not really. And he's a DJ, so when he talks about a rare record, like, my eyes are glazing over. I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking, BJDs. I know you're not watching this, honey, but in case you are, I'm sorry. But I think we all have hobbies, right? We all have something that we're deeply interested in. And I'm deeply interested in it, and because I make so much stuff, it feels better. It feels like this is my creative outlet. And I think that's the same way with a lot of us, you know, who do face-ups or wigs or make clothes or stories or whatever, you know. It feels good. But I guess, don't all addictions feel good? Don't they all give you a high? Because I get a freaking high when I buy something really beautiful, or, you know, I've got a commission that someone's doing for me. I'm like, jazz. This is definitely a high. But sometimes I do feel like, as a mom, you're always going to feel like you're not doing enough. You're always going to feel like, am I giving them a good life or whatever? And, you know, I'm not perfect, but you only have to meet my kids for 5 minutes to know that I'm a good mom. So I think that you can allow them to grow up. It's hard to do doll work, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. It's hard to do doll work when my husband's home with the kids, because I'm not only saying girls play independently, but I'm also saying, honey, you take care of the kids. I'm going to go do this. Don't enjoy your life. Sit there and watch the kids. So it feels a little bit different. But when it's just the three of us, I know that they can play independently, and I don't have to worry about them. I can leave them alone for 20 minutes. Usually that door's open and they're right up a short flight of stairs. I hear them. So I can sense when they're doing wrong. But they're not. They're good girls. That's my point. Yeah, so sometimes I do feel selfish with the kids, like I'm not spending enough time. But, you know, I get about, after I get home, like 4 hours a day for myself. Twice as much goes to my job. Actually, more than that because there's my commute, which is about an hour each way. So all of my time is given to other people. And the girls, after, you know, we get home and we have dinner and whatnot, we have time together. They're not allowed to watch TV or play on the tablet on weekdays. And on weekdays, I don't work on doll stuff. Definitely not while they're awake. So we have that time. And then with my husband, we have usually from like 8 when they go to sleep to 9, I'm working on doll stuff maybe, or at least hanging out in here. And then from 9 to 10, we hang out, watch a show or whatever. So I'm dividing up my time, but it never feels like enough, and it might not ever feel like enough, but I think that you need to give yourself your time to do what you love, or you'll be miserable. And you know how BJD people, especially the young ones, are always talking about how they feel upset when the way that people react to their dolls and stuff. I don't. I feel like whatever. I've been kind of like a weirdo since I was a teenager, so everyone expects me to do something that's different than other people. And I kind of pride myself on that. Like, I dare you to think I'm a freak. I'm okay with that. But my mother said something to me yesterday. We went to this dance performance my niece had done, and my mom, my oldest daughter was like really getting into it, and she was being a big ham, and I mentioned, I gotta get him in something, because it's difficult. I don't drive, and we have one car, so even if I did drive, I wouldn't have anything to drive, and so getting them places on Saturdays and Sundays when my husband's usually working is not ever going to be easy. And we're not rich, so I can't really afford 2 sets of classes for the kids. But I can afford dolls. And so she kind of brought up that maybe I should sell a doll for my kids' classes. But really, it's not logically possible. I'd have to sell a doll every single month, you know? If it's going to, let's say, be a $300 class that the girls have to go to. But it did make me feel some kind of way, like, judged for my hobby. But she didn't say anything about Barbies, because you have this assumption that Barbies cost nothing. But I think the last doll I bought was about $200, a Poppy Parker, and she was gorgeous. But you'd think, you look at them, they're 1/6 scale, you don't think that they cost any money. But I think I've spent a lot more money in the Barbie hobby, although that was over an almost 20-year period, and it's 2 years in, and yeah. But I don't feel like I took away from my children. I took away from buying myself decent things to wear on camera, because it's just not as important. And I probably spend more on toys for my kids than I do clothes for my kids. And maybe I'd like for them to grow up not thinking that you need to be a fashionista consumer all the time. You can just focus on art and fun and imagination, and you'll be happy. So, yeah, in some ways I feel like I'm giving them a good lesson by being a doll collector, by doing doll art, because they're doing it too, and I see them developing. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm like, you should be in gymnastics and tennis, and, well, they're in a tennis thing, like after school. See, they've got after school stuff. But I think you're always going to feel like you're not doing enough as a mom. And there's always other moms out there who are ready to judge you. But I didn't grow up being in a million different classes, and I didn't grow up with a mom who was right there in my face all the time. She's a seamstress. She was sewing, and it was just, in the other room, but I was playing independently, and I think that's important. When it comes to my spouse, it's a different story. It's a different pressure. I'm not going to ruin who he is as a person. He's already developed. And in my case, Caesar has, I think the minute we started dating, which was, we dated for like a year, and then we were separated for 10 years, and I freaking hated him. And then we, were friends again, and things were different. Things things happened. And then we just really became different people. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting off point. But when we dated the first time, when I was like maybe 21 or 22, I had just started collecting Barbies. So he saw that there was a Barbie there, and I've always been interested in something. I've always been obsessed with making natural beauty products, or maybe I was writing, or whatever. I was really into herbs and whatnot. I was really into candle magic, and I was a much better Wiccan than I am now. I'm not even really a Wiccan. I guess I'm a pagan. Whatever. But he's always used to, and he's a DJ. His love is music, and I don't feel like I take a back seat to it, but it's a passion that drives him, and he brings home a lot of records, a lot of them, and a lot of comic books because he loves comic books, and a lot of toys because he loves toys. So he understands the obsession, and so I'm lucky in that way. But if he didn't have this other thing, I don't even know what he would do. I don't even know if I've ever dated a guy seriously that was not an artist, that doesn't understand that there is this thing, this passion, this other thing in our relationship that's going to not necessarily be between us, but it's definitely going to take some time away. Something I feel like I've had to sacrifice is writing. Like I can't write with my husband in the house. There's just something, like if he sees me at a computer, he wants to start a conversation. And I think writing is a different art. Writing is so internal, it requires a different level of focus for me. But like a painting something or whatever, it's, you can do that while you're talking, and it's not a big deal. And the same with music, playing music, and not necessarily reading comic books, but enjoying the art in the comic book. These are like visual kind of mediums that don't require total solitude and misery. So I guess that's it. Am I addicted? I don't think so. Not in a way that it's hurting anyone. Maybe myself a little bit. And I don't think it requires too much sacrifice on the part of my family. And I think people need to make room for artists and what they do. So, hey, doll work basically just takes my weekend. And if I start a freaking wig making business, that's going to take over weekdays. And I just cannot let that happen. So, I have 4 wigs to make. Ooh, and I bought some yarns. I'm going to make a yarn wig for Zest Zyle. Well, it'll be Zyle that gets the wig. I don't know what Zest is going to do over there. He came with like a black fur wig that looks better on him than the magic wig, so I'll take that off. I guess that's it. I feel like I missed a bunch of stuff when I was talking in the other video, but I was in that weird mood. So, alright folks. So I can't wait to see what you guys say about addiction. Are you hooked? There needs to be like a softer word between obsession and addiction. Fascinating, no? I don't know. I feel like there should be a between word. I would not give a blowjob for a doll. But if I was single, I don't know. I might be giving a blowjob anyway, so I might just make it lucrative. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a fan of prostitutes, but I don't know if I could really do it. Thought about it. Not in a real life way, like I looked at the paper and circled things, not like that, but just wondered, could I ever do that if I was young and single? Anyway. Alright, that's it. I guess I'm going to, I don't know, get myself together for this wig making situation. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.